You know what? I'm not being funny because there's that, I have that kind of Knight of Wands vibe about me. And it kind of feels from your readings, it's so difficult to pin a Scorpio down in a relationship. I kind of feel like taking up the challenge and going after a Scorpio now. You guys are exciting and this is very intense. Let's see what's coming up. 10 of Cups coming up as your underlying energy. So 10 of Cups, this is the happily ever after. And it changes, and let's be honest, it goes from the ace to the 10, and then we go back to the ace again. So even when we get our heart's desire, even when we get everything that we want, as human beings, we just raise the bar and we want more. We want more. But this week, you're really thinking about, what does my happily ever after look like? What does my happily ever after look like? Now, the 10 of Cups is there. That's underlined. That's what's kind of rippling through all the rest of the stuff that comes up. But what the focus is on, what's at the heart of this reading, is the King of Wands. Now that can be fire energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I'm not actually getting that. I'm getting it as you, especially at the heart of this. Now, yeah, of course, I mean, it's general, so it can go both ways, but whoever the King of Wands is, he's the pinnacle. He's reached the peak of his suit. And I say he, it can be he, she, whatever, right? He's confident. He's entrepreneurial. He pursues his passions passionately. Whatever he's trying to create, whatever he goes after it, he enjoys himself. He's all about having a good time. Now, there's something here. Either there's someone that you find very attractive, or there's someone that finds you very attractive, Scorpio. I want to say that because whenever the King of Wands comes up, where the King of Cups is the kind of ideal lover, the nurturing, the romantic, that idea. Whether you're into men, women, whatever, that's what the King of Cups represents. Now, the King of Wands, he is sexy and he's dynamic, but he's very attractive. He's that kind of person where you think, oh my God, this person's like almost too good for me. Like that kind of energy. That doesn't mean no one's too good for anyone. But when you get that sense like, wow, this person's something extra. And there's one of two ways it can go. And I'm just going to say it straight off the bat with the 6 of Wands there. That this is either about you stepping up and showing this person what it really means to shine. Or it's you understand that someone else feels this way about you. And I'm sorry to make it sound like a love reading. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Your happy ever after might be work. This could be a boss. In which case it's about standing up and showing your boss what you're made of. Right? So use the energies as they are. But the Lovers did come out at the beginning. So I just want to make it clear. You can apply the energies as you want. I obviously can't go through every single way the energies can play out. Now with the King of Wands here, look at him. He's looking pretty, looking solid. And he's at the heart of this. I always see him as a celebrity. He's made for being in the spotlight. That's the kind of energy. All eyes are on him. It's the kind of moths to a flame. That's how people act around him. But he can be the boss. He has that kind of emperor-like energy, for me anyway. Now, I kind of feel like this might be someone that you've been low-key stalking. I'm joking. But someone that you've been trying to maybe get more information on. You might have heard something about him. It can go either way. Maybe if that's your boss, if that's a lover, whatever that is, you've had maybe some interaction, maybe some messages, you've talked a little bit, or you've kind of checked out their social media, or they've checked out yours. It's the past, the foundation of this. But with the Page of Swords, this is not the full story. The Page of Swords is never the full story. The pages lack the experience of the kings and the queens. They don't know. They're not very eloquent. They don't know what to make of the information that they get. Now, I'm not calling you immature, but the energy of this card is for sure that. So this says, if there's been conversations, if there've been messages back and forth, there's been a misunderstanding. That's not the full story. That's not the full story. Now, out of this, usually when the Page of Swords comes up is where we ask more questions. We think, hey, what's going on? Or what do you mean by this? Or that kind of thing. But that's not what's happened here. What's happened here is this Page of Swords, whatever this information was or communication was or whatever we got from here, it led us to the 8 of Swords. This is fears and doubts, feeling trapped. I feel like there's been a massive misunderstanding here. There is a potential to be happy. There is a potential to be happy. Obviously, it's your, whatever it is. It's your choice. You have free will. Free will is the greatest superpower you have as a human being. And I say that. You are a sovereign, divine being. Never let anyone tell you what to do. Ever. But here we have the Eight of Swords. So this is, I'm trapped. There's nothing I can do. That's what this says. But that's not true. And it's sitting underneath the Ten of Cups, which is the end game. So is it because you can see a future? And you guys are very intuitive. So maybe you can see something that no one else can at this point. And you're kind of got yourselves wrapped up in this. This can be that whole thing, especially if you find someone very attractive or they find you very attractive. Remember, you might be gaining insight into what's going on here to help you understand this, right? If it's someone central to your story. This is somebody saying, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm inexperienced, I can't do it, no one's going to... It's all of that inner saboteur, that voice of fear that talks inside. Well, I found out this, or I heard this gossip, or, it says that he's in a relationship on his Facebook, even though he may not have just changed that for 20 years. Trust me, I was in a 6-year relationship and forgot to change my Facebook from single in that 6 years. So it can happen, trust me. But with the Eight of Swords coming up here, these are fears and doubts that have us trapped. We're not seeing things clearly, and I'm getting that from the Page of Swords and this. And she feels like she's tied and bound, but her arm's free. And if she struggled a bit, it's just a bunch of birds holding the bindings. She could free herself, there'd be no match for her. But it's our thoughts that keep us trapped. They keep us trapped. But I love it, because what you guys are getting is a lot of fire coming in for you. And yet, I said the King of Wands is made for the spotlight, right? The Six of Wands is the spotlight. But have a look at this guy. Like, he gets up there, and the victory wreath is around this. Can you see the lion's got the victory wreath there? This is him standing up there saying, hey, look what I've done. Look what I've got. So I want to say this to you. If there's some of you that are crushing on someone and you think, oh, they're never going to go for me. Why? This says to be proud, to stand up there. If you're going for a job, go get yourself noticed. This is recognition. This is pride. This is standing up. I always get the impression that him and the lion climbed up there with the victory wreath, and it's like they're about to do an act, right? And it's like, hey, look at what we can do. But you have to say, look at what we can do. No one's going to notice this. No one's going to notice you with the Six of Wands. I always feel like that's the important part. Like, traditionally, this is that guy on the horse who's riding back through town. He's come home, right? And he has the parade, but he had to get up on the horse, hold the wand up and with the victory wreath and say, guess what? I won, guys, or I did the mission, or I won the war, or whatever he went to do. This is about getting the recognition that you deserve. So if it's someone that you think is attractive, you are just as attractive, if not more. If it's about a job, why would you not get it? There's no reason why you can't get the favor of your boss. Whatever this 10 of Cups is going to be different for everyone. But the key the sticking point here is this. Some information or communication that was had in the past, it hasn't been fully explored. All the information hasn't been gathered. And that's why you're feeling stuck. And we have 2 stuck cards coming in here. 2, right? With the Eight of Swords there being trapped by your fears and your doubts. The 4 of Cups and the advice. And the 4 of Cups is telling you whatever it is. To get to the 10, we have to start off with an ace. There's the Ace of Cups right in front of her. But she doesn't see it. Looking down, all she sees are 4 flowers. Please don't. Whatever this thing is, I kind of get the sense that something has caught your attention. A job, a person, a friend, a lover, a business owner, whatever it is. Someone's caught your attention. And it's linked to this. It's almost like you can see the future with this person or where it could lead. There's never any guarantees in the tarot, right? But it's like you've almost tried to talk yourself out of it with this. And, it might be like, oh, he's a player. Oh, he's this. That's the Knight of Wands. That's not the King of Wands. The kings are not like that. But you are a match to this. That's why it's asking you to step up and say, look at me. Get the recognition that you deserve. But you're not doing it because you feel stuck for whatever reason. You're feeling stuck. I'm going to get you a clarifier for that. 4 of Cups. And that's only because I'm nosy and I want to know what's going on. Because this is a great story. All right. Yeah. Just tell you to go for it. You got 2 victory cards there, Scorpio. What more do you want? 6 of Wands, the Chariot. So the 4 of Cups is where I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. All I have is like, seriously, is that all I have? Those 3 cups? No. And that's what I love about this deck. She's turned her back on the options. Usually that person sits there looking at them like, you know, as if they're going to miraculously change in front of his eyes. This is apathy. This is boredom. I get the sense some of you might be reconsidering this because no other options. This is the one that caught your eye or whatever it is, right? And it's, you want that new happiness. It leads to this. You have to start off with the Ace of Cups to get to the 10. And it's right in front of you guys. But she doesn't see it. She needs to kind of stand up or look at it from the side or do something to understand what this is that's in front of her. So it is a change in perspective. And look at this. The Chariot. Balance your head and your heart and go for it. Victory through your own determination and efforts. Now, for some of you, if this kind of energy, and it kind of just feels like it is to do with someone else, but even if it isn't, even if it's about that, you know, to get your happily ever after, you have to go out there and be the celebrity. You have to go out there and be in the spotlight. You have to get the promotion and be the boss. There's still fears and doubts around this that, you know, maybe you heard that they're not hiring anyone. And now you're like, well, this is never going to happen. I'm never going to get my happily ever after. And it says, yes, you can. Stand up there. And it might be that because of that, you're considering other options now, looking at other companies, trying to date other people, whatever. And it's like, pick your destination and go for it. Because a Chariot is about the destination. And you know yourself, you've turned your back on those other options. You want that one. Go for the one you want, Scorpio. That's the one you deserve. I do love the Chariot card. And it is the card. Let's have a look. So there's Cancer here. We have fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But remember, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics. Thank you so much to everyone that's been there with me. Whether this is the first video that you're ever watching of mine, or whether you've been there with me from before YouTube was even a thing in the Aquarian Insight world, because I've had my website for quite a few years now. Some of you followed me on there when that was all that I was doing. I'm so blessed that you guys are all a part of my journey, and totally and completely honored that you would make me and my messages a part of your journey. I never take that for granted. So I love you guys very much. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye.